Welcome back to our channel, my fellow Beyond the Gates detectives. Today is a beautifully dramatic day to dive deep into the twisted, suspenseful, and emotionally charged world of Fairmont Crest. Grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's unpack the explosive dynamics brewing within the Hawthorne family. Trust me, the upcoming episodes are about to serve us a masterclass in family dysfunction, hidden agendas, and psychological warfare. Let's get right into it. So the Hawthorne family is officially planning to host a celebratory gathering, a grand party to honor Jacob Hawthorne's safe return from the terrifying plasma ring sting operation. On the surface, this sounds like a beautiful, heartwarming gesture, but if you have been watching this show as closely as I have, you know that in Fairmont Crest, a family party is never just a party. It is a ticking time bomb waiting to detonate. Darlene Hawthorne is the mastermind behind this event, desperately trying to glue her fractured family back together. Jacob's survival is a miracle, especially when we consider the devastating tragic death of Derek Baldwin. Derek took a bullet meant for Jacob, a horrifying wake-up call that has left a dark, suffocating cloud over the entire community. Darlene wants to celebrate life, but I can't help but wonder if this party will only serve to highlight the glaring cracks in the Hawthorne Foundation. Before we even talk about the guest list, we have to address the absolute elephant in the room, Jacob himself. Is he even in the right headspace for a celebration? Based on the recent spoilers, Jacob is spiraling into a dark abyss of survivor's guilt and severe PTSD. He has just made a chilling, serious promise to avenge Derek's passing, an obsession that is deeply terrifying his wife, Naomi Hawthorne. He is fixated on taking down the elusive impaler. So this makes me wonder, how is Jacob going to react to a room full of people cheering for his safe return when his best friend is lying in a morgue? I have a strong theory that Jacob might completely snap at this party. The juxtaposition of balloons, cake, and congratulations against the backdrop of his buried trauma feels like a recipe for an absolute psychological meltdown. Will he lash out at Darlene for being insensitive, or will he use this gathering as a cover to further his dangerous undercover investigation? We also have to consider the phantom presence of Derek Baldwin at this gathering. Derek died a hero, taking a bullet so Jacob could live. How can anyone hold a glass of champagne and toast to Jacob's survival without tasting the bitter ash of Derek's ultimate sacrifice? Ashley Morgan is grieving, Shanice Johnson is completely lost, and Brian Baldwin, Derek's father, is practically vibrating with raw, unfiltered rage toward Jacob. Brian literally refused to shake Jacob's hand at the police station. If any of Derek's loved ones catch wind of this celebration, the backlash could be absolutely nuclear. Darlene's intentions are pure, but the optics of throwing a party while the town is mourning its fallen hero are incredibly questionable. It makes me wonder if Darlene is living in a state of deep denial, desperately trying to construct a reality where her family is safe and happy, completely ignoring the blood on the floor. But the tension does not stop with Jacob. Darlene's biggest, most heartbreaking concern regarding this party is whether her other son, Isaiah Hawthorne, will even bother to show up. And honestly, who could blame him if he decided to skip it? The father-son dynamic between Police Chief Elon Hawthorne and Isaiah has been a source of profound sadness for Darlene for a very long time. Elon is a stern, authoritative figure, a man who demands perfection and absolute obedience. Isaiah, on the other hand, constantly seems to fall short of his father's impossibly high expectations. Whenever they are in the same room, Elon never misses an opportunity to belittle, criticize, or demean Isaiah. It is incredibly toxic. Darlene is holding on to this fragile, desperate hope that this party might magically bridge the gap between them, that they will finally reconcile and find some semblance of peace. But let's be real, when has Elon ever shown a soft side when it comes to his youngest son? My theory is that Isaiah is currently standing at a massive emotional crossroads. If he attends the party, he knows he is walking straight into the lion's den, willingly subjecting himself to Elon's harsh judgment. But if he stays away, he breaks his mother's heart and misses the chance to support his traumatized brother. However, There is a massive wild card in this equation, a plot twist that changes absolutely everything. Isaiah is currently dating Eva Thomas. Yes, you heard that right. He is romantically involved with the daughter of Leslie Thomas, arguably the most chaotic, manipulative, and destructive woman in all of Fairmont Crest. This revelation is nothing short of a seismic shockwave for the Hawthorne family tree. Let's take a moment to really analyze Leslie Thomas. This is a woman who thrives on drama, a woman who recently crashed a hospital press conference, faked tears over Derek's death just to protect her free clinic's reputation, and literally pushed Anita Dupree to the point of physical collapse at the country club. She is a walking tornado of toxicity. So naturally, Darlene is absolutely terrified of Isaiah's relationship with Eva. Darlene does not necessarily have a personal vendetta against Eva from the start, but she is paralyzed by the fear that Eva will bring Leslie's brand of pure, unadulterated toxicity into Isaiah's life. Darlene is fiercely protective of her children, and she has already been highly critical of Eva, assuming that the apple does not fall far from the deeply poisoned tree. This brings us to the ultimate question. Will Eva accept the invitation to attend this highly volatile family party alongside Isaiah? I am firmly convinced that she will. Why? Because the emotional connection between Isaiah and Eva has clearly reached a new profound level. Their relationship is taking a major step forward, and Eva strikes me as someone who desperately wants to prove that she is her own person, completely separate from her mother's villainous shadow. By attending this party, Eva would be making a bold statement. She would be standing by her man, facing the Hawthorne firing squad head on, but walking into a room with Darlene, who has already judged her, and Elon, who despises everything her mother stands for, requires a level of bravery, or perhaps foolishness, that I am absolutely here to witness. But that is not all. The drama between these two families is about to explode in a very public, very humiliating way. According to the June 1 spoilers, there is a massive confrontation brewing at the police station involving Leslie, Darlene, Eva, and Detective Marcel Malone. Leslie, utilizing her signature calm but dripping with sarcasm tone, issues a direct, chilling warning to Darlene. She looks Darlene dead in the eye and says she hopes Darlene treats Eva well, because she would not want Elon to have to arrest Eva for hitting Darlene. Let that sink in. Leslie is openly threatening the wife of the police chief inside the police station, right in front of a detective. The sheer audacity of this woman is truly something to behold. Let us break down this incredibly tense interaction. Why would Leslie make such a specific, violent threat? My mind is racing with theories. Has Darlene already confronted Eva privately? Did Darlene say something so harsh, so deeply insulting to Eva that Eva went crying to her mother? Or, perhaps more likely, did Leslie's incredibly sharp ears overhear Darlene trash-talking Eva to someone else? Leslie, for all her massive faults, possesses a twisted, fierce maternal instinct. She views Eva as an extension of herself. If Darlene is attacking Eva, Leslie takes it as a direct declaration of war. By suggesting Eva might physically assault Darlene, Leslie is essentially saying, "My daughter has my fire, and if you push her, she will destroy you." It is a psychological power play designed to intimidate Darlene into total submission. However, if Leslie thought Darlene was going to cower in fear, she severely miscalculated. Darlene's response is nothing short of iconic. "Just try it. Darlene is not a woman to be trifled with." She is the matriarch of a family deeply embedded in law enforcement. She hates Leslie with a burning passion, entirely justified by the trail of destruction Leslie leaves in her wake. Darlene wants absolutely nothing to do with Leslie or her chaotic empire. This police station showdown firmly draws the battle lines between the two mothers. But here is where the story gets incredibly complex and fascinating. Despite this explosive confrontation, Despite Leslie's venomous threats, I do not believe Darlene is going to declare all-out war on Eva. In fact, my boldest theory is that Darlene will actually make a concerted effort to get along with Eva at the upcoming party. And let me be absolutely clear, it will not be because she is intimidated by Leslie's pathetic threats. Darlene does not bow to terrorists like Leslie Thomas. No, Darlene will try to make peace because she is a mother who deeply loves her son. I believe Darlene is incredibly observant. When she gets Eva in a room, away from Leslie's suffocating influence, Darlene is going to see the genuine, authentic love in Eva's eyes when she looks at Isaiah. Darlene will realize that Eva is not a carbon copy of Leslie. Eva might actually be the grounding, supportive force that Isaiah so desperately needs to survive the constant barrage of criticism from his father. Darlene will swallow her pride, not for Leslie, but for Isaiah's ultimate happiness. But even if Darlene manages to miraculously accept Eva, we still have to face the final, most terrifying boss of this entire narrative, Police Chief Elon Hawthorne. Will Elon ever accept Eva and Isaiah's relationship? I am highly, highly skeptical. Elon is a man built on order, reputation, and the law. Leslie Thomas is funding the free clinic that is directly tied to the stolen plasma from the black market ring, the very ring that almost killed his son Jacob and did kill Derek. Leslie just crashed his press conference, making a complete mockery of his department's tragedy. To Elon, the name Thomas is synonymous with corruption, headaches, and criminal adjacent behavior. The idea of his son bringing a Thomas into his home, sitting at his dining table, is likely going to make Elon's blood boil to dangerous levels. This dynamic leads me down another incredibly intriguing rabbit hole. We know from the spoilers that Isaiah is going to share some intense scenes with Joey Armstrong during the June 1 episode. Isaiah is going to confront his former mentor, demanding a straight answer. Will he ask Joey about the plasma ring? Why is Isaiah suddenly playing detective? My theory is that Isaiah is desperately trying to solve the plasma ring case on his own to finally win his father's elusive approval. He wants to prove to Elon that he is just as capable, just as heroic as Jacob. And what if Eva is helping him? What if Eva, using her mother's connections to the clinic, is feeding Isaiah inside information? If Isaiah and Eva manage to expose Joey Armstrong and the Impaler, it would be the ultimate mic drop. Elon would be forced to not only respect Isaiah, but also accept Eva as the hero who helped save Fairmont Crest. Speaking of Joey Armstrong, we cannot ignore the massive threat he poses to this entire family dynamic. Joey is currently squirming under the pressure of Jacob's investigation. He knows the police are closing in on his casino. Vanessa McBride has explicitly warned him that Jacob thinks he is the ringleader. Joey is preparing to meet the actual crime boss, the elusive Impaler. If Joey feels cornered, he might lash out. Could Joey use Isaiah's confrontation as an opportunity to strike back at the Hawthorne family? What if Joey realizes Isaiah is the weak link, the emotional vulnerability of the police chief? Isaiah's quest to prove himself might put him directly in the crosshairs of a very desperate, very dangerous casino owner. So let us bring it all back to Darlene's party. Picture the scene. Jacob is standing in the corner, his hands trembling, his eyes darting around the room, suffocating under the weight of his PTSD and his vow to avenge Derek. Naomi is watching him, her heart breaking, terrified of what he might do next. Elon is holding court, projecting strength, but his eyes narrow the moment Isaiah walks through the door. And then the room goes dead silent as Isaiah steps inside, his hand firmly holding Eva Thomas's hand. Darlene takes a deep breath, preparing to play the gracious host, while desperately hoping Leslie does not suddenly kick the front door down. The tension in that room will be thick enough to cut with a chainsaw. And lurking in the shadows of this entire celebration is the unspoken, terrifying reality that the Impaler is still out there. The plasma ring has not been fully dismantled. The danger that almost took Jacob's life is still breathing down their necks. Could the impaler use this highly publicized family gathering as an opportunity to send a gruesome message to the police chief? What if the party is interrupted not by family drama, but by a targeted attack? The Hawthorne family thinks they are celebrating a victory, but they might just be throwing themselves a farewell party. As a fan, I am absolutely vibrating with anticipation for these upcoming episodes. The layers of psychological trauma, the deeply rooted family resentments, and the looming threat of the criminal underworld are converging into a perfect storm. I find myself rooting for Isaiah and Eva. I want them to prove everyone wrong. I want Eva to look Elon in the eye and demand his respect. But I am also deeply, profoundly worried about Jacob. A man pushed to the edge by grief and trauma is a dangerous man, and Jacob has a badge and a gun. Will he cross the line from law enforcement to vigilante justice? Will Darlene's dream of a united family turn into her worst, most devastating nightmare? We will just have to keep our eyes glued to the screen to find out. The Hawthorne family is standing on a precipice, and one wrong move, one misplaced insult, or one unexpected guest could send them all tumbling into the abyss. Keep your theories coming, my friends. Do you think Eva will actually snap at Darlene? Will Isaiah uncover the dark truth about Joey Armstrong before it is too late? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, keep surviving the endless drama of Fairmont Crest.